Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm gonna be answering 5 of the top questions I get as a sonographer. So we're gonna go ahead and dive right in. If you like this type of video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up and leave me a comment down below because I'd love to hear from you. Okay, so number 1, the question I get asked the most is how much do I make as a sonographer? Now, I personally don't mind talking money with you, but I do have friends who are sonographers and they do follow me on YouTube. So I don't really feel comfortable talking about it just because of them and out of respect for them. But I can tell you a roundabout number. In the Austin area, now that is customary to the Austin area, you are looking as a newbie sonographer right out of school, you are looking at making about $27 an hour. Now, once you have one of your registries, especially your RVT, which is your vascular license, then you're more marketable at that point. I guess that's the best way to put it. One of the big hospitals here in the Austin area, they are offering RVT registered sonographers $28 an hour starting off. That is not what I do. I do not work for that hospital. I work for a traveling imaging company based out of New York. And they do pay me more. I'm lucky for that. But if you watch the video that I post right up here, you'll understand why I don't recommend specializing right out of school. I also work PRN for another large hospital in the Austin area. And when you do that, you do have opportunity to make more money. What I mean by that is if you're PRN, you basically can pick up however many on-call days that you want, as long as those are available to you and your hospital doesn't have any rules and regulations towards that. But when you get called in, you get paid more. You also get your differential. Then you can also pick up shifts for, fellow employees that are sonographers that need the day off. You can work for them. So there is money to be made in a PRN position. So I do work 2 jobs. So you're estimating your annual salary to be somewhere between, now that's a big jump because it all depends, but as a sonographer, you're estimated to make between $45,000 a year to about $70,000 a year starting off. Like I said, that's a big jump. It depends on whether or not you specialize right away. It depends on if you're with a traveling company, what area you're in. So if you work for the government at like one of the VA hospitals, it all depends. So everybody's different, but I would say if you're in the Austin, Texas area, you're looking at making about $60,000 a year starting off. Okay, so the next question I get, so the second question I get asked most frequently is, do you have to work weekends? Yes and no. If you work for a clinic, most of the time you do not have to work weekends. And because that's typically a Monday through Friday position, and you usually work clinic hours, which is 8 to 5. Now, if you work for a hospital, that all depends on the hospital. There is usually somebody who works weekends, and you don't have to accept anything you don't want. So meaning, if you get offered a position and you don't want it because you don't want to work weekends, don't take it. However, if you work in a hospital, 9 times out of 10, you're gonna have to work a weekend here and there. It's not a big deal. In my opinion, if I didn't have kids, I wouldn't mind working weekends at all because more experience. I mean, you go to the hospital, you get called in, you get more exams. The weekends seem to be really busy. Now it is hit or miss, but the weekends are a great way to learn. You have a little more time to take with your patients, and a lot of the times you get to see some crazy stuff that comes in through the ER. So I recommend working weekends if you can do it. Another question I get quite frequently is my schedule flexible? Again, it all depends. Like I said previously, it all depends whether or not you work in a hospital, a clinic. It can be flexible. Like I said, PRN positions, you can basically pick up whatever you want. So it can be flexible. And the 4th question I get asked the most is, how many years of schooling does it take to become a sonographer? And you're looking at, after your prereqs are all done, you're looking at 1.5 to 2 years of grueling hard work. But as a working mom who worked and put myself through school and has 2 kids, if I can do it, so can you. And as crazy as it may sound, the 5th question that I get asked the most is, what exactly is a sonographer? Now, if you clicked on this video, you probably already know what a sonographer is, but just in case you don't, a sonographer is someone who specializes in the use of ultrasound imaging to diagnose medical conditions. It does take 2.5 years to become a sonographer. I guess it all depends on which schooling you go through. But basically, we evaluate the blood flow. We look into the body, at your organs. We check the well-being of a fetus inside a mother's stomach. We check for anatomy of the fetus and a whole bunch of other things that are encompassed within that. But we basically just take pictures of the body. It does not sound, it's not as easy as I make it sound. It's very hard. You have to know anatomy. You have to know how things work. You have to know physics. But it's very rewarding being a sonographer. No matter how many hours you put in for school, how much time it takes you to get there, for me, I absolutely love it. I love working with patients, and although there are days that are tough, overall, I am grateful for being a sonographer because I can help people. And I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope I answered some questions that you may have. If you do, go ahead and please give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. And don't forget to hit the bell so you are notified when I post another video. If you have any other videos that you would like to hear or see, please go ahead and leave me a comment, and thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day. Thanks.